Hey girls, it's Wednesday. Did we ever have a verdict on intro music? I'm just gonna not use intro music until we decide for sure. Yes, have we decided on that? So I feel like I've been kind of distant in my last few videos. Last week it's because I was in a hurry, and the week before that I think I was making up for the fact that I like cried in the week before that. Anyway, so I want to not be so distant. I realized that I was making my vlogalatte videos the same way I make my vanilla martini videos, and there's nothing wrong with the way that I make those, but that the whole point of this is to connect with you girls, and that's not necessarily what's happening in the style that I make my vanilla martini videos, because the way I connect with people is in the comments in those. So I'm gonna try to be a little bit less of my video persona and more of just me. My notes for you guys are a little sporadic this week, so but bear with me. Karis, you said that you think I'm gonna really like your family, and I think so too. I love the way you describe them. They sound goofy, like my family is goofy. You know, I think most people have kind of a goofy family. But yeah, I can't wait to meet them all and hang out with you and your family. It's gonna be so fun! Oh, I'm counting down the days. 70 days. Well, 70 days till I go to VidCon, and then a day after VidCon, I see you. Yeah. You talked about crushing on like every Christian guy that you meet because you're like, oh, this guy's cute and he's Christian, maybe I should like him. And I definitely struggle with that too. Like I'm automatically like, it's okay for me to like him because he's a Christian, right? But sometimes when that's the only reason, like they're like, yeah, the thing that you should be attracted to the most is when you see Jesus in someone, and that's great, and honestly that's what is the most attractive to me, but it's important to have other things in common, I think, as well. And I think sometimes I can get caught up in like, oh, I like him, I'm allowed to like him because he's cute and he's a Christian and this is so great. And I forget that just because he's a Christian does not mean I should necessarily be into him. I also wanted to talk about being attracted to guys who aren't Christians. Do you guys struggle with this at all? I haven't in a while, but I have in the past. It's hard when you meet someone who has a lot of interests that are similar to you. Like for me, when someone really appreciates poetry, like just reading and analyzing poetry for fun, not a lot of people do that, and I do that. And so when I meet someone that I can talk to about poetry like that, so great. Also, anyone who's like a good musician, pretty much. Good musicianship is very attractive to me. I can think of one instance in particular where I was very, very attracted to someone who's not a Christian, and it was just really hard, and I got over it and I got through it, and I'm glad I never dated him, but it's like, I remember just it being really hard at the time, and I always have those thoughts where I'm like, why can't he just be a Christian? He's so great, why can't he just be a Christian? The people who are watching this who aren't Christians, this might seem kind of strange to you, but from a Christian perspective, generally speaking, not everyone agrees with this, but it's really important. The Bible says not to be unequally yoked. My faith is like the most important part of my life and my belief system and the way I choose to act and stuff, so I wouldn't be able to like marry someone who doesn't believe the same things that I do. It would just, I know I couldn't do it. Also, Sharon mentioned this, but I don't think you're shallow. I mean, if by the definition you gave it, that's what makes you shallow, then I'm pretty darn shallow too. You also asked us about our physical activity / exercise routine, and I don't really have one right now, except that it's a mile walk to my work, and I walk it almost every day, twice a day, and that's how I get most of my exercise. And I do want to do more because you talked about how it's important in being healthy and taking care of yourself. We have a treadmill now at my house because our next door neighbors moved and they were getting rid of their treadmill, so we got it free. It's not a real fancy one, but what's really nice about it is that I can put on an audiobook and just walk, or if I'm watching a movie, instead of sitting and watching a movie, I can just walk and watch a movie. I'm also going to try to run a quarter mile every day, be that on the treadmill or around my neighborhood, depending on the weather. Because a quarter mile isn't very long or very far, it's like once around a track, so I could even sprint it, be done with it really fast, but if I do it every day, it will really build up. I will get strong legs, I will probably lose weight, which is not something I'm really worried about. I just want to feel better. I want to feel healthier because I'm exercising. And just walking a lot is something that can help if you're not really a very sportsy person, so we'll see. I'm gonna try. It's hard to break the habit of being a lazy bum though. Kat, I missed seeing a video from you on Friday. I think we need to talk about punishments because you not only missed this last video, you were super late a couple of times, which Mostly it doesn't bother me all that much, but I just think it would be fun to have you do some goofy challenge again. But instead of having you do a bunch of different ones for each transgression, I thought that we should just pick like one biggish one for you to do. So I propose, any of you can contradict me if you disagree, but I propose that you have to, in your next video or in the video after that, at some point, you have to do an impression of each of us. I think that would be really funny. I think it would be really funny some week if we all did impressions of each other, because they could be pretty darn entertaining. Claire, I'm glad your vacation went so well. I'm sorry you have to go back to normal life. I hate that feeling, right? I still think that we should all Skype together. I know that Kat and Karis have Skyped, and I've Skyped with Karis a few times, and I've Skyped with Claire a few times, although not since this project has started. And it's always just been so nice, and I really would like to Skype with Sharon sometime, and to Skype with Kat, and to Skype with everyone all together, or even just a couple of us at a time, or I don't know. So yeah, we should get on that. I think we should try to do that for sure. Sharon, both of the songs you sang and played in your video yesterday made me so happy. You talked a lot more about dating, and I don't really have much else to add without like making a whole nother video about it. It's really good to hear all the wisdom you have on that topic, and considering you are the oldest of us, so probably the one with the most dating experience, and that you are the only one in an actual relationship right now, so I really take what you say to heart. Today is awesome because in about a half hour, which means I probably won't get this video up till rather later tonight, I'm going dress shopping with a coworker friend of mine who needs to find an Indian style dress for a friend's wedding, who is Indian and doing an Indian style wedding, and she asked me to go dress shopping with her, and I think it's gonna be really fun. That's it for today. I still have to film and edit a VEDA video as well because I am a procrastinator. I love you girls so much. Karis, I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye!